Hey everyone, it's Dan Stratman. Welcome back to the channel. I got the chance to do something really special recently and I wanted to share it with everyone. I was invited by Thunderbird number 3, Major Brandon Crime Maxson, to spend the day with the team on their practice day before their air shows at Luke Air Force Base. I've been a pilot for over 45 years and I've been able to do some pretty interesting stuff during that time, but being able to spend time on the inside and see what life is like for this elite team of aviators, that's right up there at the top of my list. In this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes for a rare up-close look at what it's like to be a Thunderbird pilot. Let's go. There's actually a pretty cool backstory to how this all came together. My wife and Brandon's mom grew up across the street from each other in Ontario, California, and they're still best friends to this day. I've known Brandon since he was in high school, and I can tell you, you won't find a better pilot, a better ambassador for the Air Force, or honestly a nicer guy anywhere. On Friday morning, I met Crime for breakfast at the hotel where the team was staying, and something that immediately stood out to me was how many spouses, kids, and parents had flown in to be there. During the air show season, these guys are on a relentless schedule, so when family members show up, it really gives a boost to everyone. Another thing that surprised me was just how much planning goes into these shows. Months ahead of time, the organizers get a detailed support manual from the Thunderbirds. And when I say detailed, I mean detailed. It's about 90 pages of exactly how they want everything done. After decades of doing this at the highest level, they know exactly what works, and they certainly aren't shy about communicating that. Crime and I drove out to Luke Air Force Base and went into the 61st Fighter Squadron building for the briefing before the team went out and practiced their routine. The pilots couldn't have been more welcoming. They even invited me to sit in on their pre-flight briefing and debriefing. 12 people make up the officer contingent of the 130-person team. There are 8 pilots on the team. There are also 4 other officers who fulfill vital support roles to help make each airshow appearance go off without a hitch. While I could definitely feel the seriousness in the room, that doesn't mean there wasn't some personality mixed in. Like any group of military pilots, there was plenty of good-natured ribbing going back and forth, just enough to keep things light without losing focus. And right on cue, things kicked off with a countdown to a 9:30 time hack. No surprises there. But what did surprise me was the briefing itself. I've never seen anything like this one. It was incredibly detailed and methodical. Every single aspect of the flight was covered. Honestly, walking out of that room, I was thinking, yeah, I need to step up my own game when it comes to briefings. Here's the briefing sheet I was given containing information for the flight. I don't claim to understand most of what's on the sheet, but it clearly shows the level of detail that the Thunderbirds go to ensure a safe flight. One detail I noticed on the briefing sheet made me laugh. I was looking it over and noticed that every single number 5 was written upside down. It's such a perfect inside joke if you're a Thunderbird. It's a nod to Thunderbird number 5, the lead solo, who spends a lot of time flying inverted during the show. It's a small thing, but it tells you a lot about the team. Professional to the core, but still having a little fun along the way. The maneuvers that the team are allowed to fly come directly from the Air Combat Command Thunderbird Maneuvers Guide. It's 49 pages long and lists every aspect of every maneuver flown during an air show down to the most minute detail. With their jets only 18 inches apart at times, there's only one option for the wingmen if they hope to survive to fly another day: blind trust in their leader. To help reinforce that motto is literally the last entry on the briefing sheet. And it doesn't stop there. It's also the last thing they say to each other before they walk out of the room and head to their jets. Once the briefing was complete, I went with Raz, the narrator, and drove out to the best spot on the entire base to view the airshow practice. The communications trailer, nicknamed Judy, is only a few hundred feet back from show center. To put where I was in perspective, the FAA requires that airshow spectators be no closer to show center than 1,500 feet. The team members that handle all the communications-related jobs were really friendly, and they even gave me a headset so I could listen in on the communications between the pilots. Okay, strap in tight. Here we go. Okay, I just have to stop and point something out. I thought I was close to the action, until I saw where the team flight surgeon stands during the show. Dr. Berberich, Thunderbird 9, stands right at the edge of the runway during the routine. She has the job of using an old-fashioned signal mirror to constantly flash the aircraft as the formation approaches show center for each pass. I bet they don't teach that in medical school. The team did an amazing job, especially considering it was the first air show of the season. But there's a lot more to being a Thunderbird pilot than just risking your life performing for the crowd. They are also ambassadors for the Air Force. After every performance, the team is brought back to Show Center to meet special guests that are given VIP treatment for the day. On this practice day, it was a wonderful group called Elevate Phoenix, whose mission is to transform the lives of at-risk youth in Phoenix. I can only imagine how inspiring it must have been for those kids to get to talk to the top pilots in the Air Force. Once that was over, it was back to the squadron building for the debriefing. In aviation, especially military aviation, debriefings are the most important part of the flight. Every aspect is analyzed and discussed. The number one goal is to identify and fix errors. And you're expected to leave your rank and your ego at the door. With a room full of Ultra Type A personalities, I was expecting the debrief to be pretty tense, but I'm happy to report I was wrong. Starting with the boss, each person volunteered details about what they did wrong at each step. If someone else had a comment or suggestion, they had no hesitation voicing it, but it was always said in a professional, non-attacking manner. GoPro cameras are installed in each cockpit, and the tape provides unassailable evidence of how well a pilot held his position during each maneuver. Remember that video I showed earlier of the team posing for a picture with Elevate Phoenix? The motion of kneeling down and getting back up again is actually a carefully choreographed move. At the end, Thunderbird number 12 inadvertently stepped back up before she was supposed to. And you guessed it, that mistake was pointed out during the debriefing. Like I said, you don't make the team unless you are Ultra Type A. The next day, Saturday, Brandon's mom invited my wife and I to join her at the air show as part of the family and friends group. We had special VIP status, allowing us to skip the traffic jam leading to the base by entering at a separate gate, and sat in the best spot to watch the air show under a huge tent right up against the fence. As an added bonus, we also got to see the Blue Angels fly. They had a short notice cancellation of their NAS Lemoore show and decided to join the party at Luke. Well, I hope you enjoyed this rare inside look at what life is really like for a Thunderbird pilot. I can't say how grateful I am for their commander, Lieutenant Colonel Alex Prevendar, for allowing me to tag along with the team during their practice day. It was an experience I'll truly never forget. If you were ever part of the Thunderbirds team or have your own story about a unique interaction with the Thunderbirds, I'd love to hear about it in the comments section. Now go fly safe out there. For more aviation-related content, please consider subscribing to my channel so you'll be the first to know when I post new videos. If you enjoy aviation thriller novels, check out my books on Amazon. And for unique military aviation merch you won't find anywhere else, please check out my website. Links to all of these are in the description.